A broke man will always be your biggest hater. Therefore, don't take anything that comes out of a broke man's mouth seriously because even if you're incredibly talented and smart and skillful and ambitious, they're never going to admit it because admitting it means they have to admit that you're capable of something that they're not. Because if they were those things, they would not be a broke man. And that's why they're mad. They're mad because you have qualities that they wish they had or that they want to have, but they just don't know how to, or they're just too lazy, or they're not disciplined enough. So don't think that everything a broke man says to you is true, and don't take it to heart because their only purpose is to try to diminish your self-esteem with their words. Because if they actually had money, they would just spend their money on you because they want you to feel good about yourself because they feel good about themselves. And broke men don't feel good about themselves. That's why they can't make you feel good about yourself either. So anytime they say something to you and it's just so outrageous, feel sorry for them because they don't feel good about themselves on the inside and they're just trying to make you feel bad about yourself too. Don't take it to heart.
Every time a woman goes out with a broke man, her life is at risk. And so is her future generations. So I'm helping them, baby. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Every time a woman goes out with a dusty, her life's at risk, and so is her future generations. Now, if a woman stops dealing with dust or enabling dust and starts going for men that have more money, he can provide and protect, and so her future generations are going to be less at risk for poverty. So y'all do the math. It's always somebody in here trying to drag y'all back down to the dust. Remember, dust demons. They will come try to get you once you start leveling up. Don't listen to them, baby. Keep it moving. Stop enabling dust. Don't listen to dust demons, and keep your expectations and your standards high, because let me tell you, they will try to drag you back down there. Don't let them win. They shouldn't win. I mean, they're dusty. They can change their ways and level up. And that's what they should be doing instead of trying to drag you back down there. Okay?
Here's why you shouldn't date broke guys, especially if they're like in the mid 20s and above. And I know, people are gonna say things like money's not everything or call me a gold digger, but it goes deeper than that. If you live in a first world country and you have access to Wi-Fi and a phone, then being broke is not just a number in your bank account, it's to do with your mindset. And ladies, whether we realize it or not, when we're attracted to a man, it's not just because of how much money he makes, it's also because we're attracted to a man who feels like he's on a mission and he's living out his life's purpose. A lot of the time when a man is broke and he's a full-grown adult, it also comes with personality traits like lack of ambition, and he's just lazy and he can't even take care of himself, so how can he take care of you? Now, if he hasn't quite like made it per se, but he's proven himself to be a guy who is ambitious, he's hardworking, you can see he's living out his purpose. Like maybe he's working a 9 to 5, but he's hustling hard on his side business, like that's totally fine. But if a guy's like 30 and he's living in his mom's basement, there's more to him than how much money he makes. It shows his character, which is that he's not really going anywhere in life. He doesn't know what he wants. He can't take care of himself. And that shows you that he's just not a good person.
A broke man is a dangerous man, and you have no business dating one. And I'm not talking about lavish dates and trips. I'm not talking about having a ridiculous standard and being shallow. I'm talking about the fact that when a man is at a point in his life and he is not able to do the most fundamental things for himself, he is at war with himself. And you will be the punching bag in the war that he is having in his own self. You do not want to be that. Society puts a lot of pressure on men to be providers, to be protectors, and their identity is associated with that. And when they cannot even do it at the most basic level for themselves, that is a problem for them. A lot of men, what they do, obviously, it's survival. They'll find a female that they will love bomb, they will convince to invest in their potential, to let them move in, to, let them put their stuff in her garage or use her address or any type of thing to get by. And here's what happens. Either you spend your time, your years, your youth, your money, your resources building this man up. And because he is not in a man's position, he does not feel like a man. And once he's built up, he will take all of your investment and go invest it in another woman who actually makes him feel like a man. Or what happened in my case is that he actually stays, but he develops a secret hatred towards you. It's a secret competition. Every chance he gets, he's trying to dim your light. He tries to tear you down. He speaks negatively of you, and he doesn't want people to think good things about you. It's because he's insecure in his own manhood. And when men are broke, they are not secure in their manhood. You need to leave that man alone. You need to let him go through his process. You need to let him do whatever he needs to do to get on his feet, but you are not the one to help him. If he has to go and sleep on other people's couches, so be it. If he has to go home for a short time, so be it. We've all been at low points in our life, but you, ma'am, don't need to be the one rescuing him. What is that animal? I think it's the sea turtle. Please, I know you'll come for me in the comments if I'm wrong, but the life of a sea turtle, this is what I've heard. I've never been there. I've never seen it. But, sea turtles are born in the sand, and it's a long journey from the sand to the ocean. They want to live in the ocean. That's where they're journeying towards the ocean. And it's a very long, hard, arduous journey to get from where they were born to the ocean. And that journey, a lot of them don't make it. And they are struggling. They're moving slowly. They're almost out of the energy to actually get to the waves, to the ocean where they will thrive. And so tourists go and they see these little turtles and they go and pick them up because they feel sorry for them. And they take them and they carry them to the ocean. And what happens is those turtles die because the journey from the sand to the ocean, they were developing muscles, they were developing stamina, they were developing survival skills that are going to be necessary for them to survive in the ocean. You are not Build-A-Bear. You are not Captain Save-A-Ho. You deserve to be loved, protected, provided, cared for, showered with gifts, showered with love. And I'm not being shallow. It doesn't have to be trips to Paris and Rome, although we don't refuse that. I am saying that when a man is not where he wants to be, it is never going to serve you. You are going to be the one paying for it. He is either going to build himself up and go somewhere else or stay where he's at and secretly resent you for it. It's not worth it. It's not his time to be looking for somebody to add to his life. But because he's trying to survive, he'll do whatever he has to do. Don't be stupid. One more thing I want to add. That whole saying of what you don't do, another one will. I'm okay with that. Okay? I'm very well aware that if I don't do it, another female will. And guess what? I don't want to be the female that will. I will happily let him go somewhere else. It's not going to be me. I'm at peace with that, sir. You can go. Bye-bye.
It wasn't until I got a lot older where I really started to understand why women should not be with broke men and why women do not like broke men. And it's way past not being able to buy, material items, a bag, shoes, pay for nails. Like, that stuff becomes a problem eventually. Like, not being able to, what is it? If gifts is your love language, not being able to, get that. But it's way beyond that. And I'm about to break it down for you. So, first off, a man who is broken, I'm not just talking about, you're dealing with a temporary financial issue. How, sometimes money be tight, but in a couple weeks or in a couple paychecks, you'll catch yourself up. That's not being broke. That's, dealing with, a little bit of not being able to be flexible with your money, but you'll be okay. But I'm talking about you don't have money and you don't know what the next move is for you. A man who's in that position is constantly frustrated, and there's literally nothing you can do. Nothing you can do to make him feel better. The only thing that's going to make him feel better is a way to make money. And in this day and age, there really are some people out there who, when they don't have money, they don't know how to come up with a plan B, C. There's some of us who naturally know how to find a way around it, but there really are some people who don't. So when you are with somebody that is in that predicament, They're always frustrated, and they're going to always take their frustrations out on you. Doesn't mean, not matter how kind you are, how much you try to help, you are going to become the number one enemy. So it's always best that you stay far away from that. And as a woman, I 1,000% moving forward will be staying far away from stuff like that, because you don't deserve being talked to in a certain way. You don't deserve somebody taking out their frustrations on you. That has nothing to do with you. Now, second, when you try to help a man while he's down, he ends up resenting you. And so what I mean by helping, right? For example, let's say somebody just moved into an apartment. If I'm gonna like help a man, like maybe like money is tight, he just moved into a new apartment, you don't really have bread like that, I might buy you some bed sheets, right? That's like a nice, cute, calm way to help. But I'm not about to pay a utility bill for you. I'm not gonna cover your rent. Because when you start to do things like that for a man, at some point in his head, he starts looking at it like, yeah, in the beginning, he's going to be so grateful that you're helping him. Don't get me wrong. But at some point, he starts to look at you like the enemy, because he begins to think that you are better than him. It's a man's job to be able to provide. So when they cannot do that and a woman starts doing it for them, you will see the other side of that man. You think that you helping him is going to make him treat you better? Absolutely not. So it's one of those things. I'm going to do like a cute little calm thing to help you out, but I'm going to make sure that you figure your situation out. If you just crashed your car and you don't have a car to ride around, I might help you get a ride to work every now and then, but you're not about to start using my car to get to work. I will drop you off and I'll pick you up if you need a ride and I'm available, but I'm not going to lend you my car to go to and from work. Because once again, that's that situation of you going above and beyond, and little by little, the man will start resenting you and he will start taking his frustrations out on you. And all that ends up is it takes a toll on your mental health, and then you're unhappy. And then you're questioning your self-worth, because you're like, I thought I had good intentions. I thought I'm doing the right thing. Why is he acting like I've done something to him? I've been in this position so many times in life, so I promise you, I know it sounds wild. It sounds super wild, super crazy, but I promise you, I'm 1,000% right. And any woman that's been in that position understands what I'm talking about. So when women talk about they don't want a broke man and stuff like that, and men feel like it's coming from a gold digger mentality, I'm really starting to understand that it's not coming from that. It's really like a mindset and a mentality thing. If a man is broke, he needs to sit and he needs to focus on his finances before he does anything else. Us women, we can multitask. We can be going through something, but we can still handle A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Men are very simple. They just do not work that way. And I'm not insulting men's intelligence. I'm not doing none of that, but I know that men and women have been built differently. And that's why God put somebody like a woman in a man's life. Adam needed Eve, for certain reasons. There's certain things that we are meant to do in order to aid a man and help him towards his success. But at the end of the day, it is a man's job to figure out his own shit. So if he doesn't have money, he needs to be focused on that, and you need to find somebody else or focus on your own self. And if y'all find your way back to each other in the future when things are not, rocky, that's fine. But I advise women to not be with a man that is broke.
I'm telling you what I know, girls. Broke men are mean, okay? They are mean because they are not happy with themselves. And a man's ability to provide is essential to his confidence, to his self-esteem, just like the way a woman looks is very much associated with how she feels about herself and affects her confidence and her self-esteem. Obviously, rich men can be mean too. Okay, but what I'm telling you is, as a whole, 98.9% of men who cannot provide for themselves, like basic necessities, that need somebody else to help them with food, shelter, and transportation, men that are not in a place where they want to be in their life, where they are frustrated for prolonged periods of time, they need outlets to vent that frustration. If a man is broke, chances are it's not one day of being broke. It's months, it's years of not being able to do what he needs to do. And there is a pent-up frustration, and he will take it out on the people that are closest to him. The number one person he's taking that out on is his significant other. He will be mean to you, Okay. And it can be just a matter of him being snappy and rude, stingy, accusing you of being a gold digger just because you are asking for bare minimum, or just because you are confident. It could be him having a problem with you having confidence in yourself and loving yourself. He'll have a problem with that. Or it could be downright violent. When a man is not where he wants to be, especially financially, the woman in his life is paying for it. And I don't care what couples are smiling on social media, back behind closed doors. If there's money problems and he can't do anything about it, he is mean, he is mean, he is mean. And I'm telling you, if you are not married to this man, if you don't have to stay there, run. Because again, it's not just about money. It's not just about superficial things, vacations, bags, whatever. Yeah, of course it's nice. But what it's about is when a man is not comfortable in his manhood, when he does not feel like a man, when he feels like he needs to be in a different place, that is an internal struggle, okay? And that is something that nobody can solve for him, but the people around him are the ones paying for it. Can he be still mean if he has money? Sure. Does his money make him feel like he can control you? Of course. But that's when you always have your own. So that's a whole different conversation. But I'm telling you, when a man is broke, when a man cannot do basic things for himself, when he needs you for a place to live, when he's driving your vehicle, he's mean to you. There's a couple things I didn't mention before. If you are in a position where you are okay and stable financially, but he is not, and you are helping him, it may start off fine and he's grateful and he's nice, but I'm telling you, it's going to wear off. Okay. And he'll start to resent you. He will have this resent towards you. He'll have the secret competition with you. Anytime you start shining bright or, getting a lot of compliments from other people, he's going to have a problem with that. He's going to sabotage a lot of things that are important to you, like birthdays, things like that, because he's jealous of you. And it's because he does not feel good about himself. And it again, starts off great. He's grateful, all the things, but he can only hold that up for so long, because there is an internal thing. And I'm going to tell you why it is. Because you represent everything he is not. He is not in a man's position. He is in a feminine damsel in distress role. You are in a masculine role. He's in feminine energy, you're in masculine energy. And for a man, that's not okay. Okay? And I'm not speaking from a gold digger, superficial, it's nothing like that. I want you to think about this, girls. Think about when you feel ugly, when you feel overweight, when you feel, let's say you had a time when you were a teenager and your face was just full of acne, and you remember how terrible you felt. You didn't even want to go outside. Sometimes it got really, really dangerous, the way your thoughts were. And not only is it from the pressures of society, how we are pressured to look a certain way, but also we internalize that. We believe so much of our worth comes from what we look like as women. And unfortunately, it's a thing. It's a thing, okay? Think about how that affects you. Well, imagine that for a man, but it's not in the looks department. It's in the provider department. It's important to them. And when they're not in a good space, it's going to hurt you. I believe there's a time and a place that men and women should and should not be dating. Like, there's a time, like if you, certain times in a person's life is not the time they should be trying to, like, I feel like if you're fresh out of a breakup and you're hurting and bleeding and stuff, that's not the time to get a new man. Just like for a man, it's not the time for him when he can't keep a roof over his own head. That's not a time to find a female. That's just not, because you just aren't yourself. I think the dynamic is different if it's a teamwork situation, and let's say he lost his job or something very unfortunate, or he fell ill or something and wasn't able to work. That is a completely different conversation. I'm talking about you are in a position where you're stable and good, and you happen to meet somebody that is not stable, and you guys start a relationship together. It's not going to work. And one of three things will happen. He's going to get on his feet because of you, but take the resources that you invested and he put it in another woman, because that woman will actually make him feel like a man. Number two, you will get so tired of his toxicity that you won't care what he does with the resources he got from the relationship. You just want him gone. Okay? Here, ding, ding, ding. Or number three, you stay there, but you're miserable. You don't speak your truth. You start grinding your teeth. You get ulcers. You start having health problems, and you hate your life. It is not good for a man's self-esteem when he is broke. It's not good for anyone's self-esteem when they're broke, but what it does to a man is not the same as what it does to a woman. And if you have the option to leave when he is in that frustrating part of his life, you're really not supposed to be there. Now, if y'all are married or whatever, that's a completely different story. I can't tell you what to do. You can either take heed and take the advice of someone who's been there and done that, or you can be stubborn and hard-headed, and you are the one also wasting years of your life and time and money and resources that you will never get back. So it's up to you.